Hello and welcome to my channel, Fierce Over 50. And welcome if you're new, and thank you to all my subscribers. I'm sorry it's been so long since I posted a video. Things have been a little bit extra crazy around here. So anyway, we're gonna do a get ready with me today and catch up on some stuff. And I'm gonna start with mixing some e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. And this is in the shade, I think it's light medium. Yes, it's light medium. So I put some on my little palette and I'm gonna mix it with my Makeup by Mario foundation. And I do 1 pump of this. And then I've started using my Bye Bye Under Eye It Cosmetics Full Coverage Anti-Aging Waterproof Concealer. And I mix a little bit, just a tiny bit of that in this as well. Gives me a little extra coverage. So we've got about that much. I probably won't even use it all, but I mix it with this concealer brush. And just mix. I've been doing this now for a few days, so it's kind of my everyday thing that I've been doing. I already have my sunscreen on, so don't we need to worry about that. I just take it and dab it all over my face. I have my little magnifying mirror here, so I have a mirror in front of me and a mirror here, my magnifying mirror. Then I'm going to take my Il Makiage foundation brush and I'm going to buff it all in. Just push it into my skin. I did try the Dior Forever Skin Glow foundation and it was the wrong shade. And I thought it was the right shade. I went to Ulta and I think I had makeup on when I tested the different colors. So the color that I picked was just not right. Then I take this is another little foundation buffing brush, and I use that for my under eyes. And then just to make sure it's like glowy but sheer, I go over it with a damp beauty sponge. This is by Sonia Kashuk, and you can get them at Target, and I love them. I wash it every day, and it comes clean. I know there's, a lot of people that don't wash their sponges very often, but I just think it's important. You don't want to get any bacteria, unnecessary bacteria, and cause breakouts and whatnot. I'm just making sure it's all blended. And that's pretty good coverage for the amount that I used. Now, I'm gonna do my eyebrows, and I've had some comments on my eyebrows. First, let's talk about them. They're uneven, they're not symmetrical. So this one over on this side has less of a brow. I tweezed it like hell when I was young. So this is all that's grown back. And it's got a lot of gray in it. So I really want to hide the gray while I rebuild the shape of my eyebrow. So it doesn't match this side. And this side is in much better shape than this one. So I have to basically almost reconstruct this eyebrow to somewhat match this eyebrow. So bear with me. We'll do this together. And, I've tried stencils. I've looked at so many eyebrow tutorials, and I would love to get them microbladed, but I don't know if I can afford it, and I would have to have it done like 6 months out. I've looked it up online, and there's a gal in my city, and she's booking 6 to 8 months out. She's that good. So I would go to someone that does it really well, but I just don't know if I can afford it. I think it's like $500 or something like that. So I'd have to win the lottery, I guess. So we'll see. So I'm going to take this. I use several things. I'm going to take this. This is my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer Ultrafine Lip Shaping Pencil. Tip. Ultrafine Tip Shaping Pencil. Sorry. In brunette. So first thing I do is I line it up with my nose. And then make a little mark where it should start. And I do it on the other side. Okay. Then what you're supposed to do is take your pencil and go through where your pupil is and then make a dot there. And that is where your arch is supposed to be. And then from the tip of my nose to the outside of my brow, I put another little dot there. And that's the end of my brow. Okay, so we do that on that side, and then we do it on the other side. And I noticed that on the better eyebrow, it really does line up to where the arch is supposed to be in the beginning and the end. So then I try to look at them far away and up close to see if I can reconstruct this eyebrow primarily. So here we go. I just make a straight line from the beginning up to the arch. And then I start filling in. And then I do the top of the beginning of the brow. And I hold it from the end so it's got a light pressure. There's my arch. And I'm just going with the natural way that my eyebrows grow. I'm working with the brow, not against the brow. And it looks like I might have put too much there, so I'm going to have to fix that. Where's my Q-tip? Thought I heard someone at the door. Okay, so now it's starting to come together. So you see now there, it's all filled in and it looks a lot better. It's not perfect, but it looks a lot better. So then I do the other side to try and get it as close as possible. So I did the bottom of this, the beginning of the brow. I'm filling in. Just again, drawing with the natural strokes, natural hairs, and the way they grow. So you can see this one is lower than this one. There's nothing I can do about it. So they're not going to be very even. And it's okay. I just want them to look, you know, natural if possible. And if I hadn't plucked the hell out of them when I was younger, I'd be a lot better off, but that's okay. Got a straggler. Gotta get it. Got it. What do we think? Okay? I think they're okay. They're not perfect, but they're okay. Okay, moving on. Excuse me. I am going to do some concealer now under my eyes. And my subscribers know that I have really, really bad dark circles. They're hereditary. And honestly, I think they're a result of a lot of trauma I've had in my life. Yeah, I've had a lot of trauma in my life. So, I think my eyes show it the most. So I put just a tiny little bit of concealer on my palette here. And then I'm using this concealer. It's a concealer brush on one side, and then it's a lip brush on the other. But you could use it for anything you want. Anyway, I got this from Nicole Cosmetics. She's a YouTuber. I got something on my eye. Okay. So I'm just going to go in, and as you can see, the darkness, it's because my eyes have sunken. So that just happens with age. There's nothing we can do about it. And I only need a little because this stuff goes a long way. And again, it's the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. And then I take my Angie Hot and Flashy A506 concealer brush, and then I go in and brush it out. Brush all the way up because I have darkness all the way up into this area right here, in the corner of my eye. So I bring it up to my eyelid as well, my upper eyelid. Okay. And there, it's not too light. Don't start, Hendrix. We've got some outside noises today. We have my puppy, Hendrix. He's not really a puppy. He's 2 years old, but he looks like a puppy because he's a miniature dachshund. And he only weighs 9 pounds. But his bark, you'd think he's a bigger dog. He barks so loud. Okay, so also what I don't powder my under eyes because it just creases. So there we have the under eye concealer in there. Now, I might come back to it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Now I'm gonna try and figure out what I'm gonna do with my eye shadow. I've been using this palette a lot lately. Nudes of New York, Maybelline. Really has good shades in here. A lot of mattes, some shimmers, but it's really pretty nice. So let's see, I get started with a light color first and put it all over my eyelid. So we're gonna go with Soloist. Yes. I'm gonna go in with the color Soloist right here and put that on my Hot and Flashy, Angie Hot and Flashy A501 brush. And I put it all over my lid just to give it, you know, it's a little bit oily, so I want to make sure it's smooth enough for the other eyeshadow to go on. And I have to decide, what color do I want to go with? Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with Explorer, which is right there, Explorer. And then I take my Angie Hot and Flashy A502 brush, dip that in. Okay, and then if you see me before, I have to make my own crease because my eyes are hooded and they're also sagging. So we work with what we have, right? So I put a little right above where the crease should be. Just a little bit. I start with little and then build up because it's easier to do it that way than to try and undo a bunch of color that you didn't mean to put there. So I'm just creating a crease because there is no more crease. And that just, it lifts the eye a little bit. You see, compared to that one, it doesn't look as puffy. And my eyes are a little bit puffy. And I think it's my thyroid. I don't have a thyroid. So I think it gives me puffy eyes that there's nothing you can do about. Okay, so on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. So it looks almost the same. And I've noticed, because of all the tutorials I've watched, there are so many, people have so many different shapes, you know, and different skin conditions, you know, near their eyes, as well as their whole face, of course, but it's really hard to watch one person's tutorial and match it to your own eyes. You gotta just get in there and practice with what works for your own face. Okay, so I've got that on. Now I'm gonna blend it out with the Angie Hot and Flashy A503 brush. So I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna blend. Make sure there's no lines. And I want it to be darker out here, but I don't want to pull the shadow past my eyebrow, because then it will make it go down again. So I'm going to have to go and clean this up a little bit, I think. Now we get other eye, blend that out. Okay. Then, what do we want to do? I think I want to put something sparkly on there. But I don't know which color to go with. What would go with that? Maybe Believer. So we have this shade right here underneath it called Believer. I think that might look good. I'm gonna put that in the center. Do the other side. Okay, so that's in the middle of the eye. Then I think I'm gonna do something light on either side. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with, is that Dreamer? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go in with Dreamer right there. And put that on the inside corner of my eye. And the outside corner. Okay, because yeah, I've noticed with my eye how it sags and it's downturned. I've got to lift that up. I've got to only put shadow to there. So I'm going to do a little experiment here and take my concealer brush and try and clean up on the edge. Let's see what happens. Okay, did that work? I think so. Try the other side. So what the object is, we're trying to make sure that we've got our eyeshadow on that helps recede the puffiness and then also doesn't drag the eye down. Okay? So the other thing I was thinking about talking about is online dating and being in our 50s. And if you're, it doesn't matter if you're single, you're divorced, maybe you're married, and that's great. I wish maybe someday I can be married again. But basically, last year around my birthday, which my birthday is in a couple of weeks, I'll be 57. I started on Match.com last April. And I paid for the whole year up front. So I had committed to this Match.com for a year. And I gotta tell you, I've had one bad date after the next, and it was a learning experience for me. I'm gonna go in with my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Lucky. I'm gonna put that in my upper waterline. Anyway, right out of the gate last year, right around my birthday, I met someone, and I loved his profile. It was so funny and engaging and charming. And I thought, okay, wow, this guy's nice. I don't know what he did that's right. He did some marketing for work. And then he didn't seem to have like a home. He was in the middle of putting his house on the market in Nevada City, and yet he was staying at his parents' cabin in Tahoe. And so anyway, we went on our first date and we had a ball. We had a blast. We went to dinner, had a great dinner, went dancing, had a great time, and he wanted to do something on my birthday weekend, which was the following weekend. So I agreed to, go with him up to his parents' cabin in Lake Tahoe. I felt the attraction with him, and he was like love bombing me, which now I know that is a red flag. But last year I was just rolling with it. So I was like, wow, that's really amazing that you have these feelings for me so soon. Okay, now I'm going to do bronzer, and I've got my Nars Laguna that I'm going to use with my e.l.f. contouring brush. So anyway, we went out to dinner at this really nice restaurant up there for my birthday and had a great time. The food was phenomenal. And basically we went back home after that and talked. And then the next day, went to Truckee, and we were walking around looking at the shops, and my daughter called me frantic, and she said, I have COVID. I'm so sorry. You probably have it too now. you're going to have to get a test. So we're up there in Tahoe, and we've got to go find a store and buy a couple of COVID tests. Go back to the cabin, test, and I'm positive, but he's negative. And I didn't really feel bad at that point, but I started getting symptoms like middle of the night that night. So that really casted a shadow on the whole day. I didn't feel well. I didn't look well. And we watched, the next day we watched Ozark. The finale was up, so we were binge watching that. And he had to take me back home from Tahoe, and that was like a 2-hour drive. So anyway, once we got done binge watching Ozark, then we left. And, I thought everything was cool, but the next day he wasn't texting as much, and I was like, what's going on? Okay, now I'm going in with Essence. This is Pure Nude Baked Blush in Pretty Peach. And then I'm using, I think this is a Sonia Kashuk brush. This is a blush brush. So, anyway, the next day, I'm wondering what's going on, and he's not texting like he had been texting. I knew something was up. And so anyway, he said that he got a phone call from an ex-girlfriend, and he was confused, and he didn't know if he should stay with me or get back together with her. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be second fiddle. And if you can't figure that out now, then I guess we ought to just end things. So, we didn't talk anymore after that. So that was that. Next, I was on to different guys. I was just like, okay, that was a bad experience. I learned from it. Let's move forward. So anyway, and after that, it was just one bad dude after the next. One guy was very religious, and he was saying how we were all born evil. And I couldn't with him. And this was before we were going to go dancing, and I knew this about this guy. And also, my son is gay, and he was saying that being gay is a choice. And I know for a fact it is not a choice. It's not a choice. So I didn't like him. And so that didn't work out with him. And then there was another guy who was a registered nurse. And I really thought, okay, now this is all right, This probably is a decent guy. He was a half hour late to our first date. He had fallen asleep. And then he raced to get there at the restaurant. And at the restaurant, once he got there, he did not shut up. And he was talking about getting drug tested at work. And he just was talking 50 miles a minute. I couldn't keep up. I couldn't get a word in edgewise. And so I didn't want to go forward with him either. So anyway, long story short, one guy after the next. I've got story after story. We could be here all day. but I finally just gave up. I took my profile down to hidden, and I'm like, not doing this anymore. Not doing the online dating anymore. So, I guess the best place to meet guys, according to some guy on TikTok called Dating with Jim, he says that to meet people, you should either meet them at the gym, meet them volunteering, or karaoke. So, I do go to the gym now. I go to yoga, and I need to like get a workout plan because I'm really out of shape. And that I can tell in yoga because I can not do all of the balancing things that are necessary. So my core is just not strong, and I need to get in there and get it stronger. Okay, I think I'm going to put a little more concealer under my eyes. Just a tiny bit. So, and then also for my birthday, we're going to go karaoke. We've reserved the room, and it's on my birthday, and it's a Friday. So I'm really looking forward to that. You never know. Could meet somebody, you know? It's just, you know, if you're whether you're an empty nester, it's just at this age, it's hard to meet new friends, and it's hard to, you know, date at this age. I mean, honestly, I don't think I've dated in decades, so I don't really know what to do. And I used to have, I don't know, I never really had a problem meeting people and going out with them and dating them, but now it's difficult. It's difficult. What are your experiences? Are you guys dating? Who's married? Who's happy in their marriage? Let's get a conversation going. Okay, now I used Huda Beauty Lip Contour 2.0 in Pinky Brown. And then this is Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump in the shade Peachy Beige. So we're going with a nude lip today. And this does plump. It has like a cooling sensation or a minty sensation. And I like it. Okay, and now we need to finish the eyes. Okay, so what I did was on my under eye, I put this Colourpop cream gel liner in, I think it's Get Paid. Yeah, Get Paid. I really like it. It brings out my eyes, and I didn't know this before I bought it, but I found out afterwards that this is a color that is really good. So is this. This is really good for bringing out blue eyes. And then mascara. I feel like I'm forgetting something, though. Am I forgetting something? Let me think. Oh, I know. I'm going to use this Lancome Dual Finish Highlighter in Sparkling Peach. I have a little kabuki brush here from e.l.f. that I put in there. And then just lightly go over my cheeks and my nose. It just gives a little bit of highlight. I will put everything in the description box below. This is our finished look, everybody. And I did get my hair done, so now it has highlights, blonde highlights to camouflage the gray. I'm happy with it. Oh, I think I'm going to touch up on my brow. I'm going to fill in on my brow a little bit with this color right here. I'm going to fill in my brows a little bit because they look a little sparse. And that gives it a softer look. Okay, that's it. That's all we have today. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you so much. And I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.